Hey, what's going on, guys? Gumby here. I just want to do a quick live commentary showing the new Destiny menus that were created in patch 2.0. They changed a few things. There's new ways to work with bounties, and the inventory has been rearranged a little bit, so I just want to go through that live and just talk through it as I'm going through it myself. So if you press start, you still come up to your character menu here where you can see the preview of your character with a shader and his weapons. And the first thing that I saw, though, when I was coming in yesterday playing, was the new subclass symbols. I think they look really cool. Sunsinger, Voidwalker, those are the two that I have on now, since I'm on my Warlock. But if you go in and preview, you see this new kind of 3D looking, it looks like it's just deep into the screen, this little orb here. I think it looks awesome. Next thing you see is you have your level, and then you have your new light level. So this new light level is an average of your attack and defense values. So what I mean by that is my guns here, they all have an attack value of 170, and my armor has a defense value of 170. My bond now has a defense of 180. I got that by doing a couple of new Vanguard missions, and then even my ghost has a defense of 170. So all these together have an average light level of 170, and that affects how much damage you do to enemies and how much defense that you have against enemies' attacks. So the next new thing that you can see is your stats here has changed, and even you can tell in the armor that the numbers are smaller now. So like here on intellect, I only have 70, whereas before it was going by percentage, not the actual value that was based off your armor sets. So you can see I have 70 intellect, and it actually gives you a detail where I have 70 out of 170 possible intellect, and my cooldown is 4 minutes 57 seconds for my super now. You can see the same thing with discipline. I have 77 out of 170, so my cooldown's 49 seconds, and then strength, I have 7 out of 170, so my cooldown is still a minute. I think the default is a minute for strength and discipline, and I'm not sure what it is for the super. It's probably 8 minutes or so if I have tier 2 unlocked, and I'm still at 5 minutes. And then you'll see the ghosts here. So when I came into the game, I had my generalist shell that was default with Destiny, and then now I went to the speaker and bought a new ghost. So next, if you go to the left, you'll see quests now. This is a new tab. You can see on the right you have your bounties. So you have 4 out of 16. So you can carry more bounties now. And what's also cool is when you complete a bounty, you can complete it straight from this menu. So you don't have to go to the tower, and you don't have to go to the bounty tracker and turn it in anymore. You can just do it straight from your menu no matter where you are. So that's awesome. Another thing you can do is add bounties to track. So you can track 4 at a time. So if I was in the mission and I pressed my select to bring my ghost up, I would see the progress of these bounties on my screen. So I don't even have to go to the menu anymore. I'm still catching myself to do that, but it's just a habit. And then quests are things like this where I have Path of the Voidwalker. So that's a special Voidwalker quest that I got from the Vanguard. And you also get quests from things like factions like Dead Orbit. And speaking of factions, below here is where the new faction levels are. So you have, when you start, before you get a new faction that I'll talk about later, you start with Cryptarch, and then Vanguard, and then Crucible, Crota's Bane, House of Judgment, and Queen's Wrath. So the other two that I have are Dead Orbit and Gunsmith. Gunsmith you get leveled as you complete weapon tests. So you get these weapons like this from Gunsmith, and I have a video showing later on where to get those and also how to level them. But you get these, and as you complete these challenges, you get reputation for the Gunsmith. And then Dead Orbit, I have another video that goes over how to unlock the Dead Orbit, but basically, if you go over to inventory, you'll see down here in your mission, you'll have a faction badge. And your faction badge is what you can only have one at a time, and it's an allegiance towards one faction. You can abandon that faction and then get a new allegiance, but you can only do that once per week. So that's something that you have to think about if you're close to leveling another faction, but you have Dead Orbit on. You could abandon it, do that other faction, but you're stuck with that faction for a whole week. While I'm here, I'll go over the new inventory. So this is the same. You have materials here, consume 20 and 20. You have your missions here. So this is like where your faction badge allegiance lies. And then you still have your Glimmer, your Vanguard marks, your Crucible marks, but you also have these new things called Legendary marks. Pretty sure you get these as rewards of dismantling new Legendary armor and then doing other in-game, like maybe Nightfall. I'm not sure. I haven't really looked it up, but I know these Legendary marks are used to upgrade more weapons. Like, for instance, I have Stranger's Rifle. This is new. So the Stranger's Rifle is now Legendary. And if you go in, you can see Ascend takes Glimmer and 25 Legendary marks. So I'm hoping this will Ascend, and it'll probably still be a Legendary gun. And then what I'm thinking is there's going to be some form of exotic quest in the Taken King to get the Fate of All Fools. So that'll be really cool. Other than that, the roster's still the same. You see your friends list, game, fire team. Nothing's really changed in the settings that I see. So if you go under your character, you still have your shaders, your emblems, and then this is new. So you have emotes. So I think this is where those new emotes that some people are going to get for pre-ordering or buying a Legendary Edition or being new to Destiny, they'll be able to switch out a point emote for one of those, like throwing money at the screen or something like that. And point is right now right D-pad or left D-pad, sorry. So it'll probably just replace left D-pad. Ships are now over here. Sparrows are here. Other than that, I think that's about it. That's the new menu, guys. Look out on my channel for more Destiny videos. I'll have my next video coming out will be a walkthrough of the new things in the tower, and then the one after that I think will be a walkthrough of leveling the gunsmith weapons. So hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Let me know in the comments if you want to see something particular before Taken King comes out, and I'm gonna be trying to do as much as I can and play as much Taken King as I can when it comes out next Tuesday. So I hope your day is beer and skittles, guys.